this is the brand new Olight Warrior Ultra, as you can see here. It comes in some really nice packaging directly from Olight. Obviously, we have the light here. Let's take this out. And then take this out as well. And then the bottom here, you're going to have your accessories. Again, I really like how they're starting to package this stuff. It's starting to come pretty nice. This is your charger. You have a pouch for your light. And then you can have your user manual and things like that. All right, let's take a close look up at this new flashlight. So you'll notice first off the bat is the color. The color is actually because of the aluminum that Olight uses. They call it OAL, which is Olight aluminum. This is the natural color of that aluminum, which is pretty cool, I think. You can get other colors if you want. If you don't really like this one, they do have other colors. But I kind of like this color. It's nice with the black accents and things like that. It's pretty cool. All right, let's start at the back. We'll work our way forward. So at the back here, you'll notice this is one of our illumination switches, and it's got some really nice texturing on there. It is a metal button, and it is protected by these 3 nubs. So if you drop it, you shouldn't accidentally set it off or break your switch, which I would imagine would be kind of hard either way. So at the back here with this switch, there's 2 settings. There's a low setting and a high setting. So if you push it gently in, you'll have a lower setting. And then if you push it all the way in, you will have the full whack 2500 lumens at 25,000 candela. It is a very, very bright light. Okay, so under here, this is just your battery cap here. Now, it is a rechargeable battery, so you shouldn't really need to take this off for any reason unless something's up with your battery. And that's your battery right there. There's your tail switch. Now, it's got this rubber O-ring right here also to help keep this from getting any moisture or water or anything in there. Lock that up. You do have a removable belt clip or pocket clip, so you can take that off if you wish, if you don't find it convenient, which is nice that you can do that. And then you have some really nice texturing right here for nice grip on this. If your hands are sweaty, if you're out in the rain or something, I don't know, you can still get a nice purchase on that light. Moving up to the front, now this is the secondary light switch, but does a few other things too. This is programmable, so it has some settings you can change this to. We'll come to that in just a sec. Now, I like that this is it's different designed than around the rest of it, right? Because if you're in the dark and you're trying to find that switch, it is nice that this is different, so you will recognize that in the dark as being your switch for switching on. I guess that one's even easier to hit. But yeah, anyway, all right, so it does have the branding of Ultra on there. Now, if I push this down, it's going to switch some lights on momentarily on either side here. This side is for your battery. It will tell you how, if your battery's charged or where it is. And this side is for illumination. Now, so there is 4 lights. Now, with the illumination, this light does have approximately 4 different settings for lights. So you have a kind of a very, very, very low beam right here. Then you can have kind of a middle ground and then a high beam, and then the full max beam would be up there. So if I press this and push this on, you can see that I have the 4 there and then 1 there, because I do have a very gentle beam on there. If I push it, for an example, at the back, you'll notice that everything's on, well, it's fully charged, but then I have this. You'll see that the 4 lights come on, indicating that we are on the brightest setting for that light. Now, as I said, there is a way you can program this. So when mine came originally, if I switched it on, it came to that 1 bar. If I did it twice, it went to the 3rd bar. Then at the 3rd time, it went to the 3rd bar. If I pressed and held it, it would go 1, 2, and it would skip through the brightness, 1, 2, 3. And I would just let my finger go at whatever brightness that I wanted it to go to. Another thing it also has is if you press it 3 times, 1, 2, 3, it does have a strobe feature. And hopefully that did not set anybody off. But it does have a strobe feature also, which is freaking blinding on this thing. As I say, it is a very bright light, and that strobe is very disorientating if you're looking directly at it. Moving up to the front, you'll notice on here we'll have some edging. Now that's designed so you can break glass if you need to, but also helps protect the lens right here. So if you drop it, hopefully this would take the impact and nothing would get into your glass and damage it. You can see how it sits and recesses in there. We also have a sensor right there. Now what that is for, let's switch this light on. Now this is on the full beam. Now you'll notice as soon as I start getting too close to my hand, it takes it down. Pull it back a little further and it puts it back on. That's what that sensor is for. And it kind of makes sense. I was trying to figure out why I would want that. Now, I think if I was indoors or like I put the light on and I'm right against something, when that full beam comes back, as I say, it's a bright light. And so the reflection back off of that could be pretty disorientating. So it was like, maybe that's why they put it in there. As you can see, kind of an interesting feature. All right, let's talk about charging this. It does come with a cable with a USB attachment. And then essentially you would just put this on the cap at the end there. It is magnetic as you saw, and that is how you would charge your light. Okay, one of the last things to go over that came with this is this nice little Olight pouch. Put the light in. Just have a little bit of branding on the buckle there and a little bit of branding on the side. On the back, you can actually attach this by a belt loop or molly, or you have a D-ring right here. So I've been playing with this for probably the last week. I definitely like it a lot. The construction feels excellent. Very, very nice. And it's extremely bright light. It's nice it has those different modes also, so if I don't want to use it on the max brightness, that I can, kind of tame that down a little bit. So I like that feature also. It's really cool. I've owned different Olights for the last couple of years. I've owned a pistol light, and I've owned I don't have my keys with me, but I have a little keychain light that I've owned from Olight for years. It's taken some amount of abuse, and I've had zero issues with my lights. Now, everyone's gonna be like, well, where are they made? Okay, they're made in China. And I get that some people like that might be a turnoff for them, but it really shouldn't be. They do make some really nice lights, and they do have great warranties with them as well. I've never had to use them, and that's just my personal experience. I don't know, you may have had a different experience, but my experience with Olight has always been pretty dang positive. But anyway, this is the Olight Warrior Ultra. It's good to go in my book. All right, folks, any questions, any comments, please ask below. Happy to help out wherever I can. And that's it. Until next time, everybody, I'll catch you later.